Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. My name is Shurina. I'm a certified nutritionist, nutrition, health, and also productivity coach because, guys, as you already know, listening to this podcast, nutrition can make you super productive, can make you more focused, more alert, can help you to pay more attention to the important things than not to pay attention to all the distractions that you don't want to pay attention to, right? It can help you to be more confident. Yes, it actually can help you to be more confident because any state, being confident, being happy, being sad, being moody, being low, being up, any state is a set of chemical reactions happening all over our body, right? In our gut, in our brain, and in our blood, everywhere. And nutrition, what we put on our plate, what we ingest in some form or the other, it changes our biochemistry almost instantaneously, depending on the form. If you drink it, or you chew it and it has a lot of fiber. But anyhow, nutrition, yes, it can make you more confident and can make you less anxious. It can make you happier, feeling more at peace and well. Nutrition can a lot of things for you. And as I mentioned, it can increase your productivity like a lot. If you're struggling with getting things done, getting the important things done, getting things done well, then you gotta pay attention to your nutrition. You gotta know how to use what's on your plate to help you be better you and do better things in this life and also enjoy them more. That being said, guys, I promise today we will talk about a few nuts and seeds that are on my plate every day. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, please do, it's at 1000 year young. So if you follow me on Instagram, in my stories, you see this plate almost every single day. This plate has yogurt, so there is a big cup of yogurt, about 400-500 milliliters, and you have maca powder, cacao powder, plain, no sugars, of course. And then you'll see, dark chocolate. About that, we're going to talk on Monday. But you'll also see Brazil nuts, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. And you'll see it almost every single day on my plate. Different nuts and seeds, just like any, different vegetable or fruit, they actually have really different nutrition. They have different amounts of different minerals and vitamins and different kinds of fats. They're not just, higher in fats that a lot of food groups, but they actually have different fats. And depending on what your most important goal is, you can choose a nut. And like with any other food, you can choose a certain nut and seed to help you to reach that health and fitness and productivity energy goals, or mental health goals, or gut health goals, or whatever metabolic issue you might be struggling with. Choosing different foods, and specifically today we're talking about nuts and seeds. Choosing different nuts and seeds can help you to get to your goal faster and better, and hopefully enjoying some delicious nuts along the way. Today I'm going to introduce you to the nuts and seeds that are on my plate, and I'll tell you why exactly I chose these specific nuts for this period in my life. My life changes, I change, my health changes, my fitness and health goals change. And now I'm 34. When I started studying nutrition, like very beginning, I was 14. So 20 years, of course I changed. I changed so many countries and so many things I do and my goals and what I'm going through. And I use nutrition as a tool, as I believe, all should to some degree, to change things I don't like that much, or to improve things that I like to improve, or to make myself feel better and awesome. Right, so anyhow, without further ado, my nuts and seeds. Walnuts. Walnut is a very unusual nut. Well, most nuts and seeds are quite unusual when it comes to nutrition. But walnut, it looks like a brain. If you actually cut it in half and look on that half, not from the brain side, but from the inside, it actually also looks like a heart. Check it out. Maybe I'll post a picture of it. But walnut, they are specifically rich in essential omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Not the one that you find in fish, they're different, but these are also essential and needed for different purposes in our body. And so walnut, omega-3s, omega-6s, they are important for brain health and for heart health. They actually help you with cholesterol and with health of your cardiovascular system, specifically our veins and arteries. They seem to help with their tone, but also because of improvement in cholesterol, that of course contributes to our heart health. And in general, they help with cellular function because they are usually in membranes of every cell, and depending on the balance of these fatty acids, we're gonna have our cell membrane functioning differently. Also, omega-3 fatty acids, they're structural and necessary for besides being in all of the cell membranes, they are specifically very important for our brain structure and specific, structural support that our neurons need. So we need those omega-3s and omega-6s. And as you know, it's prefer that we have more omega-3s because most of us get omega-6s from all the other food sources, other, fatty foods or meats or dairy products, animal products. But then also a lot of food is cooked in oils that are higher in omega-6s, and they are more pro-inflammatory, whereas omega-3s are more anti-inflammatory. Also, omega-3 fatty acids seem to be super important for mental health. And so walnut, it has this beautiful ratio with just 15 grams of walnuts, and that's like a smaller handful. You're going to get 100% of your omega-3 fatty acids covered, and then 50-60% of your omega-6s. Now, I always recommend to eat your omega-3s, especially marine ones, because they're different from other sources, but at least, covering those plant-based omega-3s, omega-6s. Walnuts are really good at it. And again, they are amazing for brain and heart health specifically. And also because of high content of omega-3s and omega-6s, these specific essential fats. Fats in walnuts almost never are converted into fat because the body will use them for structural purposes, not for energy purposes. And then also, walnuts are quite high in flavonoids, specific type of flavonoids that seems to have a great effect on our metabolism, increasing it and making it healthier, with blood sugar control, cholesterol, obviously. So we have that going for walnuts also. And besides that, they are high in, for example, B7 vitamin, very important for energy creation purposes and other processes. We know that B vitamins are super important in our body for energy, for our nerve health, for our brain health, for our mental state, right? So there are some B vitamins in the walnuts too, but specifically I choose them for omega-3s, omega-6s. Again, in just 15 grams, you're going to get 100% of omega-3s and 50% of omega-6s. Of course, you'll also, I want to repeat, you'll need to eat your fatty fish on top of that or supplement with fish or algae oil, marine source of omega-3s. But when it comes to plant-based omega-3s and omega-6s, walnuts are amazing when it comes to that. And yeah, they're good for your heart, for your brain, for your metabolism, and seem to be longevity nut because of high content of those specific flavonoids. So walnuts, I usually have a big handful of them every day, and you can see them on my Instagram, in my Instagram stories. So check it out, exactly how it looks on my plate. Brazil nut, it's the second nut that I have almost every single day. What's super special about Brazil nut? They are high in selenium, higher than any other food source, like literally the highest in selenium. Some people say that, a couple of nuts are enough to cover 100% of your selenium needs. Some people say it's more like 4 or 5, but it also seems to obviously depend on the size of the nut, but then also on where this nut was grown, right? I usually eat more like 4 and 5, like medium ones, not the big ones. And selenium, why it's important? It's super important as a mineral that helps with oxidative stress. We live our life and we get a lot of damage from free radicals, from oxidation, from radiation, a lot of damage. And so our cells, our system, our body, they need different minerals and vitamins to protect us from that. And so selenium is one of those minerals that protect us from different kinds of damages. But then also selenium is one of two minerals that are super important for your thyroid health. And thyroid is a major gland in charge of energy metabolism, like how much energy you feel you have or don't have, and also how slow or fast your metabolism is, how many calories your body uses for your daily activities on a daily basis, how many calories your body puts into storage. Like thyroid has a lot to do with it, and also with your mood, with your sex drive, with your life drive. Thyroid has a lot to do with it, and you need to eat selenium every day to make sure that your thyroid works well. And so I always recommend to get Brazil nuts, because selenium, you can get it from other foods, like all nuts and seeds. Almost all of them have some, but it's harder to get enough of it and sufficient amounts. That's why Brazil nuts, I highly recommend to include Brazil nuts every day in your diet. Again, I would probably go for 4 or 5. Thyroid, but then, it's good also for immune system, for energy metabolism, also to protect us again from cellular damage, from oxidation and free radicals, etc. So Brazil nuts. By the way, walnuts and Brazil nuts, about 15 grams. For walnuts, it's like small handful. For Brazil nuts, it's more like 5-6 of them. It's about 100 calories, about 10 grams of fat, and about a couple of grams of fiber also. Then I also have 2 seeds every single day. Sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds, as I remember correctly, it's the highest source in vitamin E. So 1 small handful, about, again, 15 grams or half an ounce, just half an ounce. It's about 88 calories, by the way, and 7 grams of fat. So seeds usually have less fat, less calories. Vitamin E in just half an ounce of 15 grams is about 35%. And guys, vitamin E, it can only be found in fatty foods, usually, I think. I need to check it out actually, but most of the time fatty foods, like avocados, right, or other nuts like hazelnuts or almonds. Also fatty fish has vitamin E. So vitamin E, it's one of the body's major antioxidants, and it is also super important for our skin health. And it's super hard to get from a lot of foods, and that's why sunflower seeds, 15 grams, half an ounce, and you get 35% of it. And again, we go through our life, we get a lot of damage, and it's body's major antioxidant, protecting us from all sorts of damage. But also, what's important about vitamin E, it actually helps to stabilize, preventing the damage and oxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids, those omega-3s, omega-6s. Now, if we consume them and they get oxidized, either because we cooked them or in our body, it can actually create damage in our cells, in our body, right? But vitamin E prevents that from happening. It's kind of like that buffer, stabilizer of those unstable fats that we need, but they also, it's needed that we also have vitamin E to protect them. And so they do only good for us. And again, it's crucial for our skin health. That's why most of the creams, most of the skincare products would have vitamin E added to them. I'm not sure how much of that is actually absorbed from creams and these kind of things, but from food, it is definitely absorbed. And in supplement form, most of it seems to be not that well absorbed and can be actually toxic. That's why when it comes to vitamin E, you probably want to have your sunflower seeds. There is some in egg yolks. There is quite a lot in avocado, hazelnuts, almonds, but sunflower seeds per calorie per bite, they are the highest sources. And fatty fish would have some. So again, those fatty foods, they might be quite rich in vitamin E, but sunflower seeds, hands down, the best source. Plus, sunflower seeds have other B vitamins that are important for energy production and creation of different neurotransmitters like dopamine or serotonin that helps us to be more productive and to feel better and more well. So sunflower seeds, again, I eat like a handful of them every day. And then we have pumpkin seeds. And pumpkin seeds also quite special, like all the other nuts and seeds I choose. They are higher in a lot of minerals that can be found in other nuts and seeds, like magnesium, 30%, right? It has also copper, manganese, phosphorus. The amount of those minerals are higher in pumpkin seeds. And again, especially magnesium, 30% for half an ounce. It's quite a lot again. But then also for just half an ounce, we have zinc 10% and iron 8%. Now that zinc and iron might not be as absorbable as from animal food sources, but still we have quite a lot of them, especially if you eat like more like an ounce or even, more. And then you get plenty of magnesium and other minerals. And that's why I also include pumpkin seeds in my daily meal plan, because they are really high in nutrients. They are crunchy. They are delicious. And you can almost never get enough of magnesium and zinc and copper and all these other minerals, especially from whole foods. And so pumpkin are quite high in them, and that's why I also include them, because there is like a whole wide range of minerals that are in higher amounts than in other nuts and seeds. And so here you go, my choice of nuts and seeds per day. So I basically have 2 ounces, about that, maybe 2.5 ounces, or about 70 grams of nuts and seeds total. So it, a handful of walnuts, 4 or 5 Brazil nuts. We have a handful of sunflower seeds, of pumpkin seeds. And I get a lot of a variety of different fats, a variety of different minerals and B vitamins, and there is vitamin E, as we talked about, super important for skin health and body's major antioxidant. And these are my nuts and seeds, the choice of nuts and seeds for me. Now, obviously, there is a whole range of other nuts and seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds that are, by the way, really high in different nutrients as well. We also have pecans, we have cashews, we have macadamia, we have pili nuts, we have hazelnuts, we have almonds, so many nuts and seeds. And believe it or not, guys, they all have different nutrients in them. They all have slightly different amount of fiber, of calories, of fats. Fats are different in nuts. Usually it's polyunsaturated fats, but let's take a nut like Brazil nut, it's mostly saturated fat, or macadamia, mostly monounsaturated fats, like the one you can find in avocados or olives, right? So they are all different, and also carbohydrate count is different, even though they all, of course, low carbohydrates. And we have peanuts that are not even nuts and legumes. So as you can see, this is very interesting. Foods are different, and they can all serve certain purpose in your health and your fitness life. And if you have any questions about any specific nut or seed that you absolutely love, then please post this question either on social media, on Instagram, or use the form in the show notes that is linked in the show notes. Ask away, guys, and eat nuts and seeds and other foods on purpose. Every time I look at my plate before eating, I'm like, what do I want to work on with my nutrition today? What do I want to contribute the most? Is it my beautiful skin? Is it my brain and heart? Is it more energy? Is it my immune system, my thyroid? What kind of feels, that it needs a little bit more support? And that's how I choose all of my foods. Let me know if you have any questions about nuts and seeds. Share your favorite nut and seed and why you like it. Maybe you already know something good about that nut. Share it with me and let me share it with other people. Let's help each other to eat on purpose, eat better. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned tomorrow for the no-nos for the brain before the weekend, so you feel, more motivation to not eat those foods that will damage your brain and then make you feel not so good and will make you do not so good during the week, right? So stay tuned for the episode tomorrow about no-nos for the brain. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Until next time, eat better nuts.